Hi guys. I'd been thinking about kind of sharing this my story for a while, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to because it's kind of very personal but then I'm thinking, you know what? If it helps somebody, um, maybe it's important. I would say most of my life, or at least from I would say about 13 to about a year ago, really suffered from social anxiety, profoundly suffered from social anxiety to the point where I think at a time it may have actually been social anxiety disorder. And what that means is that you're very afraid of what people think about you, and um, you're very afraid of being judged and of being thought of negatively, and um, yeah, it's a very pervasive. Like, I remember I used to be constantly analyzing. I wouldn't look people in the eye, for one thing, because I guess that was too much confrontation for me. Um, and I was constantly analyzing the person I was talking with. If I didn't know them very, very well, even then occasionally, even with people I did, for what they thought about me. I was constantly looking for signals. Were they thinking bad things about me? Were they thinking positive things about me? Were they thinking... I was obsessed with what this person was thinking about me. And when you're obsessed with what somebody's thinking about you, it's very hard to concentrate on what they're actually saying, because you're in your head analyzing constantly what is going on. What is going on that isn't actually usually the conversation you're actually having. I remember feeling very, very caught. It was like with people I wanted to bond with and be close to, it was like being very much caught in a bubble. You know, you can have all these feelings and these, like, I was this person underneath all the anxiety that I couldn't share. I couldn't really share because I had this bubble of what felt like subconscious protection, because analyzing made me feel safe. If I overanalyzed everything, I could protect myself from getting hurt. I didn't think of it that way, but that's kind of what was going on. And if I analyzed everything and it still felt okay after a really long time and lots of interaction, then kind of things settled down. It was hard to make friends because of that, because I think when you are kind of nervous and scared, or you project an air of that, you know, it's not that you don't want to bond with people and share with people, but I think people kind of get this vibe from you, like, kind of, I don't want to talk to that person, stay away from me. So they kind of stay away from you, and you know, it's hard to make friends that way. I mean, when I was going through that, the closest friends I had were people that, you know, kind of had to work. They kind of had to work a little hard to kind of get to know me. They kind of had to keep talking to me even though I was nervous and scared and all that. And luckily that they usually found that, you know, there's a pretty cool person underneath, but it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't like, you know, I would never have gone up to somebody and shook their hand and said, "Hey, I'm Alex." I mean, that was a concept that was completely foreign to me. People had to come to me and work hard to get to know me. You know what? If you're going through that or something similar, you can get over it. You can walk into places and not feel scared at all. You can look people in the eye and feel totally comfortable. You can have conversations where you're not really in your head. You're actually able to fully pay attention to the person in front of you. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful, and you can actually make genuine, warm connections to people. And I can't tell you how good it has felt to be able to do that, and much how much the quality of my life has improved from being able to do that. Now, it's not an easy process. It is a very difficult, scary process, because there are things that kind of need to get done. One is that you may need to go to therapy, and that's a good start. It's not going to be all of it, but to kind of get to the root of what caused this social anxiety, because usually I think a lot of times, either when we're growing up or our formative years or teenage years, we kind of end up in an environment where we might not be getting the most positive feedback about ourselves, and we might be told that we're these negative things, either from family or from friends or sometimes from peers. And I think if we get enough of that, I've always kind of said, if everyone tells you the sky is green, you're going to eventually start to question, wait, I thought it was blue, but maybe it is green. So if you're not surrounded by a lot of positivity and you're mostly getting negative feedback, you're going to kind of start to question yourself. If the people around you are saying negative things about you and not being supportive and loving toward you, you're going to start to question, wait, am I bad? Am I these things? And then I think that kind of gets ingrained within you. It's, oh, I am these things. I'm not, I'm this person that isn't, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not XYZ enough. And it's kind of, we walk around thinking, oh, I'm not such a good person. I'm not really worthy. I'm not really all these good things. It seems like everyone else is, but I'm not. And that is no way to live life, because nobody deserves to think that they're not good. Unless you kick puppies or something, then I'm sorry. I will probably judge you a little bit. But no one deserves to live like that, because you are worthy and you are a beautiful person and you have a lot to give. And it's not until you know that you can really start living life. So you need to go to therapy, get perspective on kind of maybe why you're feeling the way you're feeling. There's also a wonderful book that I found really helpful called Homecoming: Reclaiming and Championing the Inner Child by John Bradshaw. And I found that book really healing for me. It's not about social anxiety specifically. I think it's really more about kind of healing from your past stuff and kind of learning to love yourself, which is so important. I talked about that in the weight loss video. And I think that's really the key to everything, and the key to happiness is knowing your self-worth and loving yourself. Also, part of it is not a fun part, but it is doing exactly what scares you. And keep doing it consistently. If you're afraid to go in the grocery store, go every day. Go every day, look people in the eye, go up to them and say hi, talk to them, shake their hands, introduce yourself. It is so scary. It is not fun. It is terrifying. It is awful. But you do that enough, you're going to realize these people really are fine with me. They don't think I'm bad. They may even really like me. You may even make a friend. If it's, at school and, you're afraid to talk to the, maybe people who aren't really in your social group, go up to them, introduce yourselves. They're probably not going to be bad people. And you know what? Occasionally you might meet a person that's not very nice. But they're one person. They're not everyone. So you got to take a deep breath and then keep going on to the next person. Because if that person isn't going to be very nice to you, they're not worth your time. They really aren't. And what they think about you doesn't mean that that's what you're worth. Okay? So you just got to keep doing it and keep doing it. Doing exactly what scares you. And it is not fun. And, but it will really help. You can't give up. If you give up, you're just going to end up back in the same place. You got to press yourself. And it is so hard, but you are worth it. Just always remember, you are worth conquering that fear, because life, once you get over it, is so freeing. It is so free to just be able to be yourself and feel that self-love and the self-worth and, having conversations and being able to fully connect and bond with your fellow human beings. It is... I can't even describe what that feels like. It's amazing. You go from feeling trapped in this bubble of not being able to share and trying to protect yourself from hurt and fear to sharing. And learn to not assume what people think about you, because you really don't know. And if somebody doesn't treat you well, they're not worth your time. And honestly, they may be hurting themselves. It's probably not even about you. It's probably they're hurting. and they don't know how to deal with their own pain, and they might be taking it out on you. And that's very unfortunate, but it's probably really not about you. But learn your self-worth. Know your self-worth. That's the key to everything. And I promise you, doing all this will make your life so much better. It is a hard journey. It is a long journey, but it is such a wonderful one to actually experience. Okay, guys, take care of yourself. I hope this helped. I'm sure I forgot many things, but if you have questions, kind of write below and I will respond. I wish you all good, very, very good things, because you're worth it.